Today we'll look at heat engines, which convert heat into useful work. And here is an example schematic of a system in a heat engine that takes heat from a hotter reservoir, does some work, and expels the unused heat to the colder reservoir. So TH is greater than TC. And what we look at is a cyclic heat engine. So it goes through several cycles of this, of taking heat, outputting work, and expelling the unused heat. And we also look at a simplified heat engine, which is reversible. So basically we apply this cyclic process very slowly to capture every state of the system along the way. So this is really just an idealized heat engine, unlike combustion engines of a car, which uses the combustion of a fuel-air mixture to do work. And this cycle here that we're looking at is known as a Carnot cycle. So it starts off by taking heat in from a hotter reservoir. So we'll call this QH. And this heat taken into the system through contact with this heat reservoir is used to do work. So this piston gets pushed up such that we have an isothermal process at a constant temperature. So we have heat coming into the system and the system expanding. So to make this process cyclic, the system is placed on insulation. So there's no heat going in or out of the system during this part of the process. Then the piston keeps moving upwards, and we say that the system expands adiabatically from B to C. Now the next step involves compression. So the system is compressed and heat is expelled into the cooler reservoir. So this is what we call isothermal compression, where the temperature remains constant. And then we place the system on insulation, so we have no heat input or output, and the piston continues to compress the system, and we call this adiabatic compression. So basically at this stage, one cycle is completed, and this cycle keeps repeating, so you draw in heat, output work, and expel the exhaust fumes, for example. And given that this process is cyclic, so as we go from A to B to C to D and back to A, the change in energy is zero. And we call the net heat as the difference between the heat taken into the system and the heat going out of the system. So therefore the change in energy, which is zero, is equal to the net heat plus the work. And therefore we can write the work as the negative of the net heat. So given that the heat coming into the system, so that reservoir is hotter than the cooler reservoir, so therefore the work done is negative. So in this case, the system does work. So the area within these curves is the work done by the system. Now what happens when we take this process in reverse? So in this case, we take heat from the cooler reservoir and output heat to the hotter reservoir. So as we know by the second law of thermodynamics, heat cannot flow unaided from a colder body to a hotter body. So therefore in this case we expect work to be done on the system. And this is basically like a refrigerator, where heat is taken from the freezer and output to the hotter environment. So that's one way you can think of it. So if we take this process in reverse, we start at A and we do an adiabatic expansion. So the system is placed on insulation where Q is equal to 0, and the piston expands upwards. And in the next part of the process we have isothermal expansion. So therefore the piston expands, but we must take heat in this time from the colder reservoir to keep the temperature constant. And then the system is placed on insulation and we have adiabatic compression. So the system is compressed adiabatically in this case. And then from B to A we have isothermal compression. So the piston compresses the gas and therefore heat must be expelled to the hotter reservoir to keep the temperature constant. And then we end up back at A. So in this case, we have delta U from A to D to C to B and back to A is equal to 0. And this time the net heat is equal to the heat from the colder reservoir going into the system minus the heat going out to the hotter reservoir. So again we have 0, which is the change in energy, is equal to the net heat plus the work done. And therefore the work is equal to negative of Q net again. Now given that QH is greater than QC, well, this quantity Q net is going to be negative, and negative is positive. So this time the work is positive, and the work is done on the system to move the heat from the colder body to the hotter body, which is consistent with our second law of thermodynamics. And this cyclic process keeps repeating itself, so as you can imagine, a refrigerator keeps cooling over many of these processes. And I'll see you in the next video.